Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are taking our very first look at the new Star Trek Commander, the Borg Queen. And we're going to be running her on Yamato. This was requested recently. I don't remember who requested it. You know who you are down in the comments. But yeah, I figure I would give you guys a little bit of a showcase of the new Borg Queen. So we are running Borg Queen with Colorado and Andrew Cunningham as our inspirations to get some of the grouping back. Her base trait is Battleship Main Gun AP shell damage as well as Battleship AP shell reload time, specifically AP. This commander is telling you how to play the Yamato. Just load AP. That's it. Never load HE, right? I mean, there are certain situations, but very rare. Flambeau Cannoneer, gyrating drill bits, Master Mechanic instead of marksmanship gets you a lot more survivability in your Yamato, doubling your heals, literally doubling your heals. High Octane Warrior as well as her fancy trait. We get a little bit more main battleship movement speed, which really doesn't make a difference, but the battleship projectile damage if previous main battery shot was AP is increased by up to 10%. We've got it up to 8 currently, and of course we do have Fight Fire with Fire. Everything else is the bone stock normal stuff. I thought about upgrading my final slot to a legendary mod, but I didn't do it. But basically, with this build, we do only have 90,000 hit points, but we have 26-second reload time. Now, you could build into reload if you want, get that sub 25-second reload. But for me, I was struggling with grouping every time I tried to go for full reload. So instead of Paolo de Revel, I went with Andrew Cunningham, with Colorado, and that seems to help quite a bit. But with this build, 16,250 AP shell damage is pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. Maneuverability-wise, you can see we still have 26.2 knots, so nothing too crazy there. You could build into a speed build, but I don't see why you would. You have to give up too much, and it's not worth it. But with all of that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we're going to be on Two Brothers in the Yamato with the Borg Queen Commander. And I remember to make sure to turn on National Plus voiceover so that you guys could actually hear the commander's voice lines during the battle. I know, sounds like a duh, but you know, last time I kind of forgot. And I didn't actually forget. What happened was I had the National Plus voiceover on, and then I ended up switching over to an Azure Lane Hoshino on one of my other one of my other builds. I want to say it was Louisiana while I was waiting for my ship to come back, and I got absolutely annoyed by Hoshino, which is one of the most obnoxious commanders you'll...
Existence as you know it is over. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Resistance is futile.
She said the thing. Anyway, like I said, Hoshino, one of the most obnoxious commanders on the planet. These commanders, from what I've heard of the Star Trek commanders, are generally a lot more tame. Captain Janeway, I actually didn't mind it. She doesn't sound like Captain Janeway too much, but Captain Janeway wasn't too bad. And then, of course, this Borg commander actually sounds pretty good. A little angrier than I remember the Borg Queen being. I remember the Borg Queen kind of being a little bit more seductive with her voice. She had a kind of a deeper voice, but it was more of a sexy voice rather than angry chick. But anyway, with all of that being said, that doesn't matter. We're here to show off the Yamato with the new commander, and I'll be honest with y'all, it's been a rough night. I ain't gonna lie. I've run into a couple of good folks here and there throughout the night, even divvied up with a guy for a little while. But yeah, it's just been one of those nights, man. I've every time, and I get comments all the time. People be like, Spartan, you should play other ships once in a while. It would do you some good, as if I don't have an entire series dedicated to, oh my god. Hello, Scarlet Thunder. Maybe don't just sit broadside in your wannabe Duncan. Anyway, as if I don't have entire series dedicated. Oh, he eats a torpedo immediately. Somebody go ahead and place the karma out there for this gearing, who immediately turns broadside in front of everybody, dumping widespread torpedoes to whom it may concern, and immediately eating a torpedo while dropping a smoke screen for nobody, wasting his smoke screen. But, yeah, I don't know, man. Sometimes people... And then eating a torpedo in the process. I mean, it was karmic justice. I'm sorry. It just is. You know, it's just one of those moments you have to laugh, because if you don't, you just cry. But this flank is going to be an interesting one, because that Scarlet Thunder, you'd have thought he'd learned his lesson, you know, getting slapped a couple of times right out the gate. 40K in the first salvo. I mean, that's a pretty chonky salvo, right? He didn't learn. He just comes out flat broadside again. He's like, well, it had to have been a fluke. Ain't nobody gonna set it down me again. Bonk. What was that, Sunshine? Yeah. Now, you'll notice that I'm still spotted here. What does that tell you? The destroyer is directly off of my bow. Now, if our little gearing over here, if he was a gunboat destroyer, he'd be able to go hunt and kill that thing. Right? If he was a gunboat destroyer, that's what he would do. But he's not. Gearing, I know it's a prolific gunboat destroyer, but that's not what he's doing. He eats a torpedo and then spends most of the game spinning in circles. At least he captured the base. We'll give credit where credit is due. You'll see that Stalingrad actually radars the freaking Shima, and I'm not gonna lie, I get warned by my commander. Listen.
Enemy warhead detected forward.
Yeah. But they're off to my left, right? Wrong! There's one right down the snoot! Go figure! I guess she was right. There is an enemy warhead detected off the fore.
Hull compromised.
Hull was compromised. Indeed. But yeah, I actually like her voiceovers.
Systems restored.
It's pretty good. But as we start pushing forward here, I want to try to get myself in position to deal with these guys that are running away. When a flank runs away like this, you've got to push up. You can't just sit back and wait, because what happens is, if these guys are all dropping back and you're not able to continue to shoot things, then you're wasting everybody's time. Your other flank may not be able to hold. So what we want to do is, if they're running away, we want to apply pressure. Now, this is a tough ask for a Yamato when there's a fucking Shima on the loose and there's no way for me to deal with him. Especially when my destroyer's going to do loop-de-loops the entire match without really doing a whole lot of anything productive. But, don't worry guys, he eventually decides to do something, and in that he manages to do some good things. But as you can see, we're trying to push up, and I know darn well that Shima's trying to torp me. Now, if you watch off to the left side, you're going to see the Shima drop a smoke screen, and he's going to try to shoot me, but he's also going to try to torpedo me, obviously. But this is the stuff that I get to deal with more often than not. It's just like, what in God's green earth is going on? Like, I got Shimas out here trying to be gunboats. I got Gearings out here trying to be Shimas. Like, I don't know what is happening. But you can see, I go to shoot the Shima here. And, of course, we've got the torpedo coming in. We got to try to slip the... Woo! Yeah. Steering gears, baby. Comes in handy for a battleship. And motherfucker! Dude hits me one time, gets a goddamn fire out of his Shima? That's bullshit. I'm sorry, but it just is. Also... Hello, Hindenburg.
Restored.
What the f do you think you're doing over there? You are just being way, way too complacent when you got a Yama right around the corner. So we're going to go ahead and use the little button to get a little more accuracy. And, of course, in true Spartan fashion, you guys know the deal. We got to leave them with just enough to continue being a problem. Meanwhile, our Gearing does finally decide to go after the Shima, and he's going to do a great job. And he's going to take out almost all of the health of the Shima while I try to get rid of the Hindenburg here. But of course this time, no dice. 4 fucking overpins. And here I actually try to use my goddamn heal and I end up opening the button. And now the Daring goes down or Gearing. God dang it, I can't keep calling it a fucking Daring. And fortunately we get one sniper of a 150mm gun going out there. But of course there's Johan over here too. Can't have that, right? We Gotta make sure that there's somebody that can make us pay for playing smart. Wouldn't want to be able to, you know, limit who can shoot us and all that. I hate all the airstrikes. I really do. You know, I love I am an idiot. I'm sorry. You guys know I love my Louisiana, and you know I love the battle carriers, but dude, I don't understand why they suddenly decided that everything needs planes. Like, we got the Dutch cruisers. They have random magic planes that just spawn out of nowhere because they call back to homeland and somehow manage to pull out planes no matter where they are on the planet. Like, they got the United States Air Force with the entire logistics fleet behind them. They just come out of nowhere. But at least the battle carriers have to carry them, right? Like, they're on their back. Yeah, sure, they have an infinite supply, which is a little unrealistic, but, you know, it is what it is. At least they look like they should have some sort of plane. But the defense over here, not paying attention, that's going to be his undoing as we reach out and slappity-slap his broadside. Bonk. A little early on the bonk there. But thankfully, they give these stupid Dutch cruisers, not only just do they have airstrikes, but they have the ability to drop multiple airstrikes back to back because they have a stupid perk that if you're within a certain distance of an enemy ship, automatically makes the second, or every other airstrike 1 second reload, which is absurdly stupid for so many motherfucking reasons. But I digress. We're going to try to get a shot here into the Montana. I'm letting my teammates kind of take the lead here for a second because I've been at the front the entire time. I've been the one taking all the hits. I don't really feel like coming around the corner flat broadside to a Montana. So I let my teammates do the thing, and you can see both these guys are... Well, they're doing things. Their teamwork is the dream work, right? That's what this is. Basically, Stalingrad knows that if he goes broadside to this Montana, he dies. So both these guys are kind of like right next to one another. And then once they kind of get his attention, I go ahead, come around the corner, and I punch straight through his bow to slap the crap out of him. Now, obviously, I'm paying attention to both sides. Remember the crossfire thing? I always say, you know, if you're able to shoot people in a crossfire, they're able to shoot you in a crossfire. Yeah, we knocked on this man's door, so we know he's going to answer. Right? You hear that all the time, too. Now, he's reversing, so we're going to go ahead and aim a little bit high. We want these shells to come in towards the back of the ship anyway. And if we pin, we should be able to get a good result. And we do. Bringing us up to 164,000 damage. Now, Montana is continuing to reverse through the gap, which I got to give him credit. I mean, it's a pretty good job to be able to reverse like this through the gap while also maintaining his ability to shoot people. We're going to go ahead and try to slip a shot over the island, and, I mean, Yama just doing Yama things, man. It's just clapping everybody's cheeks. You give it a cheek, it's going to clap it. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. Now, as we push forward, the Montana has gotten around the island. The defense is hidden in his smoke screen, and by hidden, I mean he's got me hidden in his smoke screen. He goes to turn out. We take the shot. Montana's around the corner. I'm thinking, okay, well, Scarlet Thunder's got him. I'll just continue to push forward and see if I can't deal with these guys on the left. Now, you guys know me long enough that you know that when in doubt, assume that your teammates will fumble. Right? When in doubt, just assume they're going to fumble. So I'm already rotating my guns to the right, getting ready to shoot this Montana because this guy has not been able to do any damage to this Montana for a moment. He's got him burning, but for whatever reason, he just hasn't been able to do the damage needed to get rid of him. So I'm just going to prepare just in case, because I know if I show my broadside, my luck, that guy's loaded and he's going to take the shot and he's going to kill me, right? So we're going to go ahead, and the moment we get the shot, we take the shot through the island, and of course that's the moment that the Scarlet Thunder decides he wants to finally kill the guy. Now the guy was talking in the chat, and he seemed like a decent guy. It was just funny, like, he shot the guy like 3 times, and he's like, I don't understand what's going on. I'm like, maybe shoot a superstructure. I don't know. I don't make the rules. But we're spotted here. We know that the Des Moines is coming back. We know that the defense is here as well. So we're just waiting. And you see Des Moines, and I mean, come on. Dude is slowing down. He's broadside as hell. I am absolutely sure that I'm killing this guy. But he's a propulsion mod turd waffle, and he manages to speed up just in time to dodge my shells. Doesn't dodge the Stalingrad's laser beams. But at this point, I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't need to necessarily shoot the Des Moines. I'll go for the defense. So I'm like looking at my buddy. I'm like, dude, now would be a great time for that radar. And so we're just kind of looking for the option to potentially shoot. And defense fires his guns, and that allows him to get spotted anyway. So we aim high, remembering that the defense has a ridiculous armor belt for what it is. We want to get as many shells on target as possible that can potentially pin him. At this angle, we're not likely to citadel him because of the goofy armor belt that he's got. He's got a really long extended belt. And we're reversing because we know he has torpedoes, right? You can see here I'm kind of thinking about a potential for a double kill, but I'm like, nah, I'll just go ahead and shoot at the defense. He's reversing. He's now bow in, so we aim high. Want those shells to come in through the superstructure and deck, and we get exactly what we want, finish him off. But unfortunately, not only did he get one fire, he got a double fire before he died, which means that unfortunately for me, my time has expired. We did everything that we could to win in this match for our team, and we put up a respectable 200,000 damage game. It wasn't a crazy damage game, but I think it was a fun one to showcase the ship with the new commander and all the voice lines. But top of the leaderboard, over 3k base XP. Not a bad game. So let me know if you guys are enjoying the new commanders. Have you tried anything else? I know some people have been asking about Riker as well. I haven't had a chance to look at him yet. If you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.